Hi, I'm Sulfur. This is a story of my life and the contact process and how I went from a yellow solid thing to a burning acid. So, where did I come from? My brothers and sisters were born under many different circumstances. We, sulfur, could be born in many ways. Sulfur can be extracted from the impurities in fossil fuel such as coal like my mum, or sulfur can be mined from underground. USA and Poland export sulfur such as my dad around the world. When I was little, I was constantly bullied at preschool. But then, an oxygen molecule came along and was my first friend. Together, we became sulfur dioxide. There are two ways this can occur. My brother was a sulfide ore called pyrite, and he was kindly heated in excess air to give sulfur dioxide and red iron oxide. The way I chose was the second way, and I was simply heated in an excess of air. An excess of air meant that I could be surrounded with all my oxygen friends, so that sulfur dioxide is mixed with oxygen for the next stage in life, which is becoming sulfur trioxide. This is the most important reaction in my life. I was super excited to become as much of a trioxide as possible. The forward reaction is exothermic, so it is favored by a lower temperature. My oxygen friends told me that 450 degrees was very high, not low. And so I told them, if I was this low,
Oh man, I can't be late on the first day.
then it never reached dynamic equilibrium fast enough. So we speed it up by increasing the temperature to 450 degrees, making a compromise between percentage yield of sulfur trioxide and the rate of reaction. As there are fewer gas molecules on the right-hand side of the equation, the reaction is favored by higher pressures, but at 1 to 2 atmospheres, there's already a 99.5% conversion of sulfur dioxide into sulfur trioxide, so my family didn't want to pay the extra money to increase it because it wasn't worth it. The catalyst friend I met sped up the rates of the forward and backward reaction equally. Its name was vanadium oxide. Here's the weird part in my life. I dreamt a dream. I wanted to further react to become sulfuric acid, so I thought, why don't I just collide with some water? Bad idea. It was very violent between us, and a nasty acidic fog was created. I needed advice during this crisis in my life, and so I found a sulfuric acid molecule and asked them how they came to be. It was easy, they said. And then I, sulfur trioxide, dissolved into the concentrated sulfuric acid. And with a splash, I became oleum, also known as fuming sulfuric acid. My life was getting very interesting. This is a map of my world and reactions. But I had one final destination. It was time to collide with water again. Thankfully, I'm oleum and it is safe now to react. And I fulfilled my dreams and became sulfuric acid. One last thing. Unfortunately, a few of my sulfur dioxide cousins failed to make it. They had to be removed so that they wouldn't escape into the atmosphere and cause acid rain. So, chimneys that emit the waste gases are fitted with scrubbers. These scrubbers contain a base such as calcium hydroxide or calcium carbonate, which neutralizes most of the unconverted sulfur dioxide.